But it's that time now to give you 5 players to watch. We do it every single week. We put them in alphabetical order, and we're going to start with the Broken Arrow Tigers with their big star offensive lineman, Andrew Raym, All-American offensive lineman. And for Broken Arrow, the point is very clear as they go on the road to take on Jinx. The Tigers want to bounce back. The Tigers want to make a statement that they're not going anywhere as defending state champs after the tough loss to Owasso. And when you look back at what they did, or what specifically they didn't do against the Rams, they struggled against Owasso's front 7. So for Andrew Raym and this Broken Arrow offensive line, I want to see them get back to what we saw a year ago. Be dominant at the point of attack, have one of the top running games in Oklahoma, be able to protect your quarterback at all times, and it starts up front with the offensive line, and it starts with your All-American. If you got him, you have to take advantage of it. Andrew Raym, one of the top players in the state of Oklahoma for a reason, and if he and this offensive line come together and play to their potential, that will be a scary thing for Jinx and their front 7. On the flip side, Jinx, if you're going to be Broken Arrow, it starts by attacking with the front 7 and getting after Andrew Raym and this Broken Arrow offensive line. We go to the skill position now with Metro Christian wide receiver Carson Callaway. In one of the top matchups, you have Metro traveling to face Adair. Carson Callaway off to a great start to this season. He's used in a variety of ways for Metro Christian. We've talked a lot about their star quarterback, Asher Link. He has plenty of weapons around him, one of those being his star wide receiver, Carson Callaway. And we mentioned it earlier when we talked about this matchup. The team that's able to take advantage of the turnover battle and have more possessions offensively, they're going to be able to be better suited to get a win on Friday night. Carson Callaway not only has an impact on the offensive side of the ball, but he has an impact on defense and special teams. The more times Callaway has the football in his hands, the more opportunities Metro will have to score. Carson Callaway, the latest player to watch here on the OKPreps Kickoff Show. We mentioned Broken Arrow and their struggles by stopping the front 7 from Owasso a couple weeks ago. We're going right back to that with Owasso defensive lineman Hayden Grant as our latest player to watch in their big matchup against Union. You take a look a few weeks ago as Union struggled to get anything going offensively because of the pressure that Broken Arrow brought from their front 7. If Owasso is able to replicate that, and if they're really able to pick up where they left off in the game against Broken Arrow 2 weeks ago, Owasso is going to have a lot of success. And it starts up front with their TU commit at defensive lineman Hayden Grant. He had a good game against the Tigers. He'll look to have another good game in slowing down this Union offense. This Union offense has a lot of weapons. It starts at the quarterback position with J.D. Geneva. Right there in the backfield with him is A.J. Green, one of the best running backs in the state of Oklahoma. And Geneva has plenty of speed to throw it out to at the wide receiver position. But if you're able to contain him in the pocket, if you're able to get a grip on Green before he gets out in the open field, you're going to have success. And that starts with the front 7 for Owasso and their defensive lineman, Hayden Grant. Our next player to watch is someone who we've already mentioned, Del City quarterback Quinlan Ganther. He's had an impact for this Del City team since he broke onto the scene as a sophomore. He had a really good junior season, but he had a lot of weapons around him as well. And so one of the biggest question marks, not only for him, but for this Del City team in general, going into the 2019 season, was how would Ganther perform and how would he excel without some of the weapons that he lost to graduation, like a Jeff Foreman at the wide receiver position. Well, so far, Ganther and this Eagle offense haven't missed a beat. He's going to continue to put up big numbers once again for Del City. And in this big matchup with Choctaw, this is a huge opportunity for Ganther to show that he hasn't taken a step back. Del City hasn't taken a step back. And we mentioned this matchup being so important on the west side in 6A2, as the winner here will have a legitimate shot to challenge Stillwater to be that top team in the district in 6A2. Quinlan Ganther will have a huge opportunity to be one of those top players in 6A2. And if he has a big game on Friday night, and he has all the potential in the world to do so, Del City won't be going anywhere. And our final player to watch, we go to a game outside of the top 10. It's Muskogee going on the road to take on Ponca City, and I can't wait to see what Ty Williams does. The Muskogee junior, a standout on both sides of the ball. He plays quarterback on offense. He plays defensive back on the defensive side of the ball. Last week in their win, he was spectacular as he threw for nearly 200 yards and 5 touchdowns. He only completed 11 passes, 5 of them going for touchdowns. He also had an interception on the defensive side of the ball as Muskogee ran away with a blowout victory. The Roughers now going on the road to take on Ponca City. Ponca City looking to bounce back after the loss to Collinsville. This is an improved Ponca City team, so I want to see what Ty Williams and this Rougher team does. Are they for real in 6A1? Could they end up playing spoiler to a Bixby, a Booker T, a Sapulpa on the east side of the district in 6A1? Or could Ponca end up being that spoiler when it comes time to figuring out who some of the playoff teams are in 6A2? There's your look at 5 players to watch heading into week 4.